When the lights are out and you stumble in the dark, you kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
All right, starting soon. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Calvin, Head of Sales from carlist.mine. Welcome back to our carlist.mine Dealer Masterclass. So today with me, I have a telesales manager by the name of Roshan.
Hi guys, my name is Chitesh Roshan. I'm the telesales manager for carlist.mine.
All right, so welcome aboard, Roshan. So now let's begin our season 2. So season 2 is about Dealer Masterclass by closing sales closings through phone. So we'll be covering season 2, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. So episode 1 will be today. Episode 2 will be next, same place. Then the following will be the season 2, episode 3. So we are talking about, since the season 1, episode 1 for season 2, asking the on phone. So we understand that Roshan, you are in charging telesales team for carlist.mine. This calls, to connect with our seller agent. You also do some survey and chat with our prospect buyer. So to begin, before we begin this, right? Can you about yourself?
Briefly, I have about 9 years experience in telesales. I've been managing a team right now, a team of 7 people in Carlist right now for about 2 years already. So yeah, you can technically say we technically know what we're talking about. That's it.
All right, cool. All right. So yeah, those who already joined us now is already about 10 to 15 of the viewer. So yeah, Mr. Dealer and Sales Agent, if you already are joining us in this program now, remember to stay through the whole show all the way until 5 o'clock, because at the end, I will let everyone know that comment the username and company name. We will pick up 3 lucky winners to win 100 credits from us, Carlis.my. Stay tuned, and I will let you guys know when the time comes. Okay? So, yeah, without further ado, the topic for today is asking the right questions on the phone. So, we understand that no doubt we internally, we and sales agent how to manage the advertisement. So, and also at the same time, we get some feedback from the consumer when we do the consumer survey, whereby that they give us some constructive feedback regarding how the salesman answers. All right. So, yep. So let's start with this. Okay. So let's begin with the first questions. Question is dedicated for you. Since MCO and RMCO has been implemented, we have started to see a reduction in face-to-face contact. Calls and video calls starting to be a priority now. How does you see this changing car buyer behavior? Yep.
Thank you, Gavin, for the question. All right. In a nutshell, guys, it's a pandemic. Everything is changed. Everything. And same goes to our buyers as well. All right. So, like you mentioned, Gavin, is a reduced face contact. Right. It reflects the same when it comes to the survey that the consumer survey we conducted recently. WhatsApp and calls are the number one choice of communication between sellers and buyers right now.
Why is this happening, Roshans? Because nowadays consumer get to be a bit worried in terms of the human contact.
Exactly. They have, I mean, they are convenient. They feel it's much more convenient, much more safer on the phone. And the less human contact, they're much more happier.
Yeah, I mean, like what you mentioned is correct. Yeah, pandemic does happen, which is happening now. So whereby a lot of consumers, the safety, everyone is looking at safety now. In order to buy a car or whatsoever, they will tend to make a call or WhatsApp first. Yep, it's true, it's true. Yeah, so let's move on to the second questions. What are the few things that car seller, what I mean is car seller is dealer or sales agent, need to take into considerations when dealing with car buyer over the face? Let me rephrase these questions. What are the things that the sales agent or dealer need to take note when it comes to the first approach by answering call? What is your advice to the sales agent or dealer?
Okay. First thing, we have very limited time over the first thing. Second, do not prejudge a customer or a buyer before qualifying them. And thirdly, whatever conversation you have a mindset to set up an appointment at the end.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I think from our audience here, they definitely would like to know more. Since you already mentioned three things consideration when dealing inquiries through phone. So yeah, what do you can you elaborate further? What do you mean by limited time?
Well, call is always shorter than face to face. That's hands down.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you are breaking. Yeah, can you repeat again? Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So, phone call is always shorter than face to face. So, I would suggest every sales agent or dealer to work on definitely when you a warm introduction to break the ice, basically. And this will allow you to have, they will say, a memorable first experience and also a lasting first impression. And I would definitely just suggest whoever who just started off selling cars, script it up your first 7 to 10 seconds so that it's a consistent result and also you can measure the result as well.
Okay, so what you're trying to mention is like face to face you will have more time, but when the calls start to come in, So it's a very limited time from the buyer point of view. So use for the first 2 minutes to capture the buyer attention. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, exactly.
Wow, lovely, lovely. All right, all right. So I mean, this is a good advice. Second, just now you're mentioning customer. I mean by customer prejudge.
Yep. Well, we know essays and dealers. This is daily basis, but occasionally we come across certain feedback to us about SA or dealers, right? So it's a kind of a situation whereby they are excited of buying new cars. They are sending messages, they are sending texts and all, and then they get replied as like a one-liner, like, "How much is your salary?" It immediately brings up the wall, and this guy actually engage much. So that's the thing. You need to put yourself in the customer's point of view, customer's shoe, and then you reply back. That is something that.
Yeah, let me elaborate further from what you mentioned on the customer's prejudge. Yeah, I mean, this is before also whereby prospect buyer, car buyer, call us back, call to carlist.com saying that some of the sales agents are just only engagement from the sales agent, whereby like what you mentioned also is true, whereby instead of going through the proper conversation when the inquiry comes in, sales agents just tend to like how much you earn. So this is kind of like for consumer ice breaking first and then continuing following with the conversation. Never prejudge the consumer at the first place, because at the end of the day you wouldn't know is he buying the car or he's buying for his wife, or he's using his wife's name to borrow loan, or using the father's name to borrow loan. So like what we try to mention is every call that come in opportunity. Correct. Try, I mean, it's a good advice. Try not to judge any consumer when they start to call you. Yep. Cool. Yeah, and then you mentioned just now another point.
Setting up appointments.
Yeah, setting up car appointments. How does that work?
Okay, so when it comes to selling cars over the phone, there are chances, but it's not that high, especially the used car and the recon side of the market. So you always want to keep it in your head that every time there's a call, you want it to lead to an appointment. So because why? At the end of the day, it's a physical item that they're buying. So people want to touch, want to feel it, especially want to drive the car. Then the chances of much higher.
All right. So like we can just summarize this, whereby the dealer or sales agent things that really need to take note and think to consider. So it will be definitely limit time, make good use of every call that come in the first 2 minutes, structure your script and ensure that consumer are aware that what you. Secondly, don't prejudge what's the income of the consumer, because you will never know there's another opportunity or assistance that the buyer will have. All right. The third thing is eventually try to get more appointments. Yeah, like what you mentioned, car, because a lot of sales agents, reply to the consumer, whereby that the car is available and come and. So before we move into that stage of setting up appointment, the sequence first, the first 2 sequence, and then only lead to a car booking appointments. Yep. Good advice. Yep. So now let's move forward. Questions. What are the 3 powerful questions car sellers use on calls?
Okay. It's hard to narrow down to 4, but let me tell you what I have. Okay, so right now we got a few questions that first and foremost we need to know what they want. What car? After that, find out what is it for. Is it family? What's it for? Third thing is which you can use in your follow-up as well on when you want the car. And it's good to know that how much budget you're working with at the call itself. And today I want to add on one more, Kevin, which is follow-ups, guys. So whenever you have this information, try to jot it down, write it down, see, and then when you do set up an appointment, when you follow up, it's actually a much warmer call, because you already touch base with them, you know what they want, and setting up an appointment is just a very easy process after that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Roshan, since we already given couple of like advice and guideline for our student, why not we just do a sample role play? So I'll become a buyer since I'm
Okay.
looking for car lately. I become a car buyer and you become
Okay.
the sales agent. Okay.
All right.
So at least for here, Mr. Dealer and Sales Agent, which you are currently watching this program now, Khalid's domain currently is not to dictate or the way the sales agent's been operating. What we're trying to say is we try to give our advice and
Yep.
guidance how to handle customer inquiries because we've been always mentioning the thing work car dealer and sales agents for them to sell more cars. So when the advertisements already, customized nicely, pictures, informations, pricing, and also the positioning is correct. And then you've been spending money, you've been spending credits to boost up your advertisement. But the real deal is when the call comes in. When the call comes in and when we whatever effort that we put earlier is all wasted. So
Yeah.
today we are talking about not to try to change the sales agent how they operate, but we are giving our guidance and advices better so every lead that come in become opportunity. All right. So yeah, so let's do a simple role play. I become the buyer and you become the seller. Sounds good?
Can?
Okay, cool. Let's do it. Now I saw one of the advertisements from Carly's domain. I saw this number. I pick up my phone. Hello.
Hi. From Roshan Sriram Berhad. How can I help you? And how can I address you?
Hi, I'm Calvin. Actually, I'm looking for a BMW M3.
Oh, okay. Good, good. The car is still available. All right. Don't mind me.
Sorry, I lost you. Can you repeat again?
Sure. Where are you from, Calvin?
Actually, I'm from Ipoh.
Oh, good, good. Okay. Sure. Okay, Kevin. Don't mind me asking, Kevin. I want you to help you in your buying journey. This is a few questions I want to ask. First thing, Kevin, is this car for you or for someone else?
Actually, for myself.
All right. By when would you really like the car?
Within these 2 months, yeah. Is the price can be nego, Roshan?
Sure, sure. I will talk about it later on, but let me ask these questions first, right?
Can full loan, brother?
Yes, we definitely will talk about it in a while. All right. So, Kevin, do you have a car that you want to trade in?
Yeah, I do have a Kia Forte that want to trade in now.
Ah, nice, nice, nice. Okay. Let's move forward with this, Kevin, because I'm sure you have lots of questions about the price, rebates, and all. Let's move from. I suggest let's make an appointment, right? Because whatever I say or whatever I say or do can't compare to you actually driving and viewing the car. So,
Yeah, Roshan, sorry, your line is breaking all the way. So yeah, can you repeat again? Yeah.
sure. Let me repeat the last sentence.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin, I'm sure you have a lot of questions and what sort of free gift that I'm offering. Can I forward? Let's just set up an appointment, okay? Because at the end of the day, whatever I say will not compare the car and actually driving the car. When are you? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Roshan, yep. So that will be a very from what we're trying to do. So, there's a couple of questions asked by the audience. We will answer you shortly. So, dear dealer and sales agent that you are currently watching this program, just me and myself and Roshan, we did a small. So how does that work? Okay, simple. First of all, what we experiencing, even though lately, I just share some experience. I myself looking to buy a car. When I call up some of the, seller, dealer or sales agent, the first thing first that is blocking is when we just say hello. Dealer and sales agents, they will answer like hello. So the conversation is quite stuck there. So the best example that we could advise is like the moment when the consumers will just straight away answer hello and introduce themselves and from which dealership they are it's easier for the consumer to get hold. So because we understand that from consumer point of view also that sometimes they do enter what normally been answer to them is kereta ada sangat cantik, you mau you mari. So of like we are not dictating how sales agents communicating with the buyer. What we're trying to say over here is to get have a better icebreaker whereby that you sound like you are not too hard sale. At the same time, you were able to dig more information from the consumer. So yeah, by introducing sales agent, by introducing their name, by introducing they are from which dealership, and then straight to the point and ask the buyer, where are you from? Engage where I am from. So moving forward, customer will ask a lot of questions. For example, can full loan, can do this, can do that. Always what consumer want. But how do we don't get distracted from what the consumer? Always pre-screening all these questions first, and then try to set an appointment to go to the showroom. But there's a lot of mistakes that have been happening. Not to say mistake, there is some of the conversion is and the sales agent is not really able to answer a couple of questions by the consumer. They will straight offer, go to my showroom. So you see, there's a lot of consumer who never go to your showroom if answer the first couple of questions. So for me, I'm a consumer, I wouldn't go to your showroom info from the seller. So in order to create my interest to go to your showroom, you need to pre-screening some of my questions. So if for you, sales agents, right? First thing first, you ask me, I call in, Kelvin, how much you earn a month? So it's kind of turn off. That kind of question can be definitely asked Mr. Dealer and sales agent, but not the very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, because we know that sometimes this customer don't want to waste my time lah. He earning like 2,000, don't call us dealer. I start asking him how much he earn, then we can know whether this customer's coming. To be frank, Mr. Dealer and sales agent, no doubt this is a standard practice. But however, what we're trying to advise here is you might tend to lose this opportunity because this prospect buyer not able to, it's a very low income, but we will still losing opportunity whereby this potential buyer are able to get loan from the wife or from someone else. So, but if we prejudge the customers at the very beginning stage, we lost this opportunity.
Exactly.
So this is our advice from Carmen to all our seller, because at the end of the day, we just want you guys to sell more cars. Yeah. So never do that. Never prejudge at the very beginning. So the first question, like what Roshan's and is who am I? Where I am from? How long do I need this car? What is my budget? From there, Roshan at the same time didn't review so much of things. You were able to understand what they need. At the same time, set an appointment, go and test the car. So this is my advice that we want to share to all the dealers and sales agents. We open up a Q&A sessions. So let me see.
I learned something, Kevin.
Any advice on how to pre-qualify buyers? Definitely pre-qualifying buyers, right? Let me think about these questions. Because you see, when we come out the right questions, we were able to right buyers. So for example, talking about pre-qualify, how much do you earn? A very turn off kind of questions. All right. So first of all, we have to ask, for example, are you unemployment? The first question when we're talking about pre-qualified buyer. First of all, we ask customers, where are you from? Are you under employment? When do you need this car? At the same time, do you have any like down payment and what sort of budget you're talking about? So these are the 5 pre-qualified things that we can do before we go to the deep dive. Because if dive throughout the phone, I can tell, not to say I can tell, but based on experience, 90% of the customer would never turn up in your showroom. Yeah, so because from a potential buyer, that they feel that, wow, you guys already asked me at the first conversation that how much do I earn? Do I even afford or not? So this is a return buyer. So there's, like we mentioned just now, let's do a recap. For example, who are you? Where are you from? What is your budget? When do you need the car? And what sort of down payment that you're looking at? So from there, you also try to set up an appointment. Okay, once I gather this 5 informations ready, send them, come to the showroom, like what you mentioned just now, Roshan. At the end of the day, it is pointless that you haven't tested the car. Testing the car, driving the car, and follow up on the details is the best consumer experience. Yep. Yeah. So, yep. And then is there any? So
Okay,
before, yep.
Kevin, can I answer the question as well? Right.
Yep,
So
can.
on how to, guys, this do as casual as possible. No doubt, we want to make sure this customer is worth our time or something like that. We want to qualify, but ask it as casual as possible. Don't penalize or ask it too rudely, because again, through phone call, if too direct could offend them, or if let's say through WhatsApp, you might mean okay, but they might take it differently. So it's definitely ask with finesse, with like how you're asking your friends. That sort of things.
Yep. Yeah, because why? I mean, let me take this opportunity, Mr. Dealer and sales agent, that currently you guys are watching this program. We did some consumer survey. So the prospect buyer did feedback to us. That's why we're holding this program to advise our dealer and sales agent how to attend leads call when consumer come in. So let's modify. I mean, let's fine tune a bit when people call you, or any buyer send you a message. Change the way of profiling them, then they will feel better, and chances to go to a showroom is definitely higher. I mean, from a buyer point of view, just that I'm not from Kalizomai. Just take me as a formal buyer. I just want to buy a. If I ever get a message from a sales agent, how much do I earn? I would definitely never talk to this sales agent.
Yeah.
So because it sounded kind of very hard sale from him, rather than a pre-concept for me, whether that this sales agent want to do my business or not, or he's looking down on me. So we as buyer or seller, as we as a seller, try to show our words so the consumer will feel better. So from there you can establish and lead to your showroom visitations. Yep. Okay. So yeah, and then there's one more question. Techniques and tips on getting car buyer to visit dealers by phone. Currently, we have a single video listings. Yep. So definitely, our dealer and sales agent, you can make full use of the SVL, whereby that you can continue to shoot the videos and narrate, or even though to the extent the customers don't even want to go to a showroom for now. Video call. Establish video call. To get the customer interest, you can attract them, by doing a live, for example, a WhatsApp video call now. At the end of the day, once you get the interest built, set the appointment legs. So the consumer will go to a showroom to test out the cars. Yep. Hope I answered these questions for this, Aaron.
And to add on to Kevin's point as well, this one, Aaron, this is basically think from a buyer point of view. They don't want to be hard sell. So if they know you're going to hard sell them, they will avoid 100% going to your dealership. So invite them like how you're inviting your friend or your best friend with them. Then they will definitely commit to coming to your dealership.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having some experience, right?
You can say that.
Yeah, what do you mean by hard sell? Yeah, at least we can explain to our dealer and sales agent.
Just take a few examples. For instance, I have a few. I talked to a few people who just owned a new car. What I found was a little bit interesting, whereby I asked them, why did you buy from this particular sales agent when we have so much to deal with? So the two things that the person told me was, she's a lady. She told me was, one, the person made me feel comfortable. Over the phone, made her feel comfortable. He was not pushy at all. The was he worked for her, means he actually took the initiative to apply every single bank, send her WhatsApp, updating her constantly on the progress, that sort of thing that made her to choose him. So yeah, that's something I would definitely add on.
All right, cool. Yep. So you see, past already, so we are almost coming to the end already. So yeah, those dealer and sales agent which is currently watching this program, now is the time. Please key in your dealership and also username, so you will stand a chance to win 100 mine. And now
Yes.
it begins now. Yep. So yeah, I can see some agents is in here. Please comment your dealership name and username. All right. Okay, so before our closing, so what the last message would you like to share with everyone that is watching, Roshan?
Last message. Okay. My last message for all sales agents and dealers. Okay, guys. Every single is a golden opportunity. That's it.
Sorry again. Yeah. Sorry again. What is it?
Okay. Treat every golden opportunity.
Right. So like what I think Roshan line is keep breaking throughout the whole sessions, but I'm not sure what's happening. But anyway, what Roshan's trying to share the last message to everyone is treat every single leads which as a golden opportunity. So because we understand customers different when the moment is going to car leads.mine, they browse, they pick up the calls to call or message you customer interest. So from my interest, we lead them to the next. We can also get them to okay. So yeah. All right, cool. So that's all for today. So any more things that you want to share with the team, Roshan?
Yeah, guys. One thing I want to share before we hang up, guys. Whenever someone calls you or get in touch with, they've gone through a lot of ads and listings already, 100%. So whenever they do get in touch with you, again, treat it as a golden opportunity. That's it.
All right, cool. All right, okay. So, Mr. Dealer and sales agents, remember to contact our account executive and account managers. We will guide you guys from time to time how to sell more cars through carleads.mine. Okay, so yeah, thanks for having the time with us today. Stay tuned for next place as we have Roshan back again to talk about rapport building. For example, Roshan will go more deep dive the moment the call comes in. Okay. Yeah, sales agent, thanks for your golden time spending with us for this Friday. Have a great Friday. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Happy Friday, guys. Thank you.
I would never ask you to give up things. I just wanna give you all I can. There's nothing but you, baby, and I can't get enough. There's something that you give me, and I can't get enough. You don't need to tell me that you love me. I don't mind waiting for it to show. There's something but you, baby, and I can't get enough. There's something that you give me, and I can't get enough. Ooh, yeah. Don't tell me I don't stand a chance. Ooh, yeah. For you, I'll be a different man. Ooh, yeah. This is where I'm meant to be. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. So it's now. It's on you. Yeah, I wanna stop. It's on you. This is where I'm meant to be. You show me the ropes, I hold you tightly. Never let you go or let you down. There's nothing but you, baby, and I can't get enough. There's something that you give me.